Hi, Clarity family. Welcome back to another reading. Today we are tapping into what's coming next for you. And y'all already know how I do these readings. I'm not coming in here assuming this is automatically about love. Whatever energy shows up, that is where we are going. So, yeah, this could be about your finances, your career or business, love and relationships, your personal life, a new opportunity, spiritual guidance, something ending or something opening up, or something you did not even see coming. Whatever it is, I'm going to tell you, okay? I'm going to read the cards, tap into the energy, and give you the intuitive messages as it comes through. Some piles may be heavy on money. Some may be heavy on love. Some may have career movement. Some may be more spiritual. And some of y'all may have a little bit of everything going on because apparently life decided one storyline was not enough. Okay, so listen. So as always, honey, take what resonates and leave what does not. Now, look down at the table here because you have three piles in front of you. Pile 1 is the yellow glass crystal plus the reflection card. Pile 2 is the tangerine glass crystal plus look inside yourself. Pile 3 is the teal blue glass crystal plus deepen your heart card. Take a moment, look at the crystals, look at the cards, and choose the one that calmly draws you in the most. Not the one you are forcing yourself to pick. Not the one you think you should choose. Go with the one your energy naturally keeps returning to. And once you have your pile, let's get straight into it. Hi, Clarity family. Welcome to your reading, Pile 1. This is what's coming next for you. And we're going to find out exactly what this energy is landing. If this is about money, I'm going to tell you. If this is about career, I'm going to tell you. If this is love, reconciliation, a new person, family, business, personal growth, or spiritual guidance, that is where we are going. I'm not going to force every card into romance if the energy is clearly talking about your bank account. And one thing about me, I am not going to sugarcoat what comes through. I am reading the cards intuitively, connecting the energy, and allowing the message to build as we go. So some of this may confirm something you already feel. Some of it may surprise you. And some of it might have you sitting there saying, now, why does she have to tell all my business? Okay? But real quick though, the 3 questions for $33 personal psychic reading is still available. And you can ask me any 3 questions about love, relationships, finances, career or business, communication or reconciliation, hidden feelings or situations, spiritual guidance, family or personal matters, or anything you personally need deeper clarity around. The information is in the description. Okay, that link is there. And remember, there are things that I can get into during a personal reading that I cannot fully share here on this platform. And if you know, you know. All right, Pile 1, your opening energy is connected to the yellow glass crystal and this card is so gorgeous. I love the blue flower. I love her expression here. So let's look at what it says. It says reflection. Give each other some space at the moment. Trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. Okay, so right out the gate, this is giving relationship energy. Okay, so there is some type of emotional connection here where space has become necessary. And that could mean you are currently separated. Communication has slowed down. One person pulled back. Both of you needed room. Or the connection became too emotionally charged and somebody finally said, wait, I need a minute. But the important part of this card is that it does not read like a chaotic ending. It reads more like a pause, a recalibration, a moment where trying to force answers may actually create more resistance. The energy here is saying, stop pressing, stop chasing, stop trying to solve everything today, because something needs room to settle. And with the card called reflection, this space may be forcing both people to look at themselves. Not just what did they do to me, but what did I contribute? What do I actually want? What needs to change? Am I trying to save this connection, or am I trying to avoid being alone? That is where the deeper work is happening. And pile one also feels like somebody may be worried that giving space means losing their relationship. But this card specifically says, trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. Notice it does not say, force it to work out exactly the way you want. There is a difference. The best outcome may be reconciliation. It may be a healthier conversation, emotional clarity, or it could be you realizing that something you were afraid to lose was actually keeping you emotionally stuck. The space is going to reveal the truth. And I feel like that is what, is coming next. Honey, you are moving into a period where the relationship cannot continue operating on autopilot. Something is being reflected back. Behavior, patterns, communication, boundaries, expectations, and possibly whether both people are equally willing to work on the connection. What is next is clarity through distance, not punishment, and not necessarily abandonment. Clarity, because sometimes you cannot see a relationship clearly while you are standing in the middle of the emotional smoke. Okay? There's somebody here who is used to immediately reaching out when tension happens, immediately explaining, immediately trying to fix it, immediately asking, are we okay? But this time, your next move may be no move. Honey, allow them to reflect. Allow yourself to reflect. Allow the energy to show you who returns with accountability and who only returns because they miss having access. That distinction matters. Their absence may be telling you something, but their return will tell you even more. And that's where I feel like this reading is headed. Okay? But pile one, listen, you have 6 more cards to go. Each card is going to show us more about whether money or financial opportunities are entering, what is shifting around your career or business, what is happening with this relationship, what could be developing behind the scenes, what is ending or opening, and the deeper guidance surrounding what comes next. And when we reach card 6, I'm going straight into your total energetic frequency, where we are going to tie everything together and answer what is really coming next for you. And what do you need to know before it arrives? All right, pile one, honey, let's go ahead and pull card 1 and see exactly where this energy is moving in your life right now. Let's see. Thank you, Spirit. What is the energy as it does relate? Let's see what's coming through. Card 1. You got Libra. Now, we all know that Libra is an air sign. Libra is also ruled by the planet Venus, the planet of beauty and love, but Libras are more communicative, okay? This is balance, partnership, fairness, decision, and reciprocity, okay? But Libra, like I said, is an air sign ruled by Venus. So immediately we are dealing with relationships, attraction, harmony, values, connection, and the question of whether 2 people are actually meeting each other halfway. And look at what your opening card already said. It said, give each other some space at the moment. So I do not think Libra came through accidentally. Something in this relationship has been out of balance, okay? Somebody has been giving more. Somebody has been initiating more. Somebody has been compromising more. And somebody got a little too comfortable allowing that person to carry the emotional groceries. Okay. But what is coming next? Well, the scales are starting to adjust. And that does not necessarily mean everything immediately goes back to the way it was. Actually, I feel the opposite. The energy says that the old dynamic cannot continue exactly the way it was. This space is creating an opportunity for somebody to realize, wait a minute, was I actually being fair? Did I expect more than I was giving? Did I make this person feel chosen? Was I thinking for understanding while giving them confusion? No, was I asking for understanding while giving them confusion? And because Libra is ruled by Venus, I absolutely feel relationship energy getting stronger here. Okay? There's a conversation coming, a decision, an attempt to restore harmony. And somebody approaching you differently because they realize the connection cannot survive if only one person keeps doing all the emotional labor. Honey, the next chapter requires reciprocity. Not one person chasing while the other person thinks about it. Not one person apologizing while the other person acts like they have diplomatic immunity. And Libra is also about choices. And for some of you, what is coming next is a real decision about this relationship. Not another 6 months sitting inside saying, what are we? Where is this going? Do they want me? No, something has to be decided. Either the relationship comes back into balance, or you begin recognizing that maintaining your peace is more important than maintaining access to somebody who keeps you emotionally unsettled. And remember, your opening card was reflection. So that means that this person is reflecting on their behavior while you are reflecting on what you are willing to accept. See, because both people may be looking at the same relationship, but asking very different questions. You're asking, is this healthy for me? While they are asking, have I pushed this person too far? And I feel like that is where this shift comes in. Because once you stop over-functioning in a relationship, the other person is forced to feel the weight of what you were carrying. Okay? And sometimes balance is restored because you finally put down what was never yours to carry. Now, honey, Libra can also represent contracts, agreements, negotiations, or situations involving fairness. So I'm keeping my eye on career and finances as these next cards come out. Because remember, this reading is what's coming next for you. We are not forcing every card into love. But right now, love and relationship energy is absolutely leading this pile. And if that changes, I'm going to tell you. Okay? The exact energy coming through is a relationship that has been out of balance is approaching a point of reflection, decision, and possible restoration. But only if both people are willing to meet each other with equal effort. And pile one, honey, I do not feel like you are going to be nearly as willing to overextend yourself in this next phase. No. They may be coming back to the table, but you are not bringing both chairs this time. All right, you have 5 more cards to go. Let's go ahead and pull card 2 and find out what happens once these scales begin balancing. Because I want to know whether somebody is actually stepping up or whether you are the one making decisions that changes everything. Honey, let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? Y'all. Let's see what's coming through, Clarity family. Give me 1 second. Card 2. All right, you feel like home. The card says, being with you reminds me of simpler times. You bring me so much happiness and peace. Now, this card is interesting, right? Because this right here is important because we just came from Libra, which was all about balance, reciprocity, partnership, and somebody realizing where this connection became uneven. And now this card coming through is saying that you are not just somebody they have feelings for, you represent peace to them. You are the person they could relax around, the person they could laugh with, the person they did not have to perform for, the person who made life feel lighter, softer, calmer, and less complicated. And sometimes people do not fully understand the value of peace until they lose access to it. Because while the two of you were connected, they have been taking that comfort for granted. Okay? They have gotten used to your presence, used to your emotional support. Used to knowing you were there. Used to having somebody who made them feel understood. But now there is space. The silence is making the contrast loud. Okay? And they are realizing that not everybody feels like home. Not everybody gives them that sense of emotional ease. Not everybody makes them feel like they can exhale. And with the reflection card opening this pile, that distance is making them look back at what the connection actually gave them. They are remembering little things, conversations, inside jokes, quiet moments, the way you made them feel seen, the way being around you brought them back to a simpler version of themselves before everything became complicated. This person misses the peace more than the drama. And that's saying a lot. Now, I also want to point something out. This card says, you bring me so much happiness and peace. That means that this person associates you with emotional regulation. When life gets chaotic, they think of you. When they are stressed, they miss you. When other people feel demanding or exhausting, they compare that energy to what they had with you. And suddenly they are realizing they fumbled somebody who felt like a safe place. Okay? They're realizing they fumbled somebody who felt like a safe place. But pile one, this is where Libra matters. Because feeling like home is beautiful, but a home still needs mutual care. You cannot be somebody's peace while they continue being your confusion. Let me say that again for the Clarity family in the back. You cannot be somebody's peace while they continue being your confusion. You are not an emotional vacation rental. They cannot disappear when they want freedom and return whenever life becomes stressful because they know you make them feel better. If they value peace you bring, then they need to contribute to the peace too. And that means consistency. Okay? It means communication, respect, reciprocity, and showing you that your emotional safety matters just as much as theirs. Home should feel safe for both people. And I feel like that is exactly what the energy is moving towards next. Now, there could be a recognition happening on their end that the relationship was more meaningful than they admitted. They thought they needed space to figure things out. But now that they have the space, they are figuring out that what they miss is you. The exact energy coming through is this. They are saying, I did not fully appreciate how much peace and happiness you brought into my life until there was distance between us. Being with you felt safe, familiar, and comforting, and I missed that more than I expected. And here's the bigger message. They may want to come back to what feels like home. But the next card will show whether they are ready to help build it this time, because missing your peace is one thing, being mature enough to protect it is another, okay? So listen, pile one, you have 4 more cards to go. Let's pull card 3 and find out whether this person is actually preparing to move towards you, or whether they are just sitting there reminiscing about the comfort that they lost. Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? Thank you, Spirit. It says honesty. So the card says the energy of honesty supports our choices to be courageously truthful and genuine with kindness and tact. So I'm definitely picking up some deception here on this person's part. Maybe a little gaslighting. But nevertheless, the energy is about telling the truth. Okay? This is truth, authenticity, being courageous, communication, kindness, integrity. Now listen, the minute this card hit the table, I immediately felt like somebody has not been completely honest. And I'm not saying this automatically means some huge scandal, but I am picking up withholding, minimizing, twisting things, twisting things around. Selective truth, or making you question what you clearly felt. And yes, for some of you, there has been a little gaslighting mixed in. Yep, not necessarily in some dramatic movie villain way, but maybe you would bring something up to them and they would say, you're overthinking. That's not what happened. You're making too much out of it. I never said that. Meanwhile, you are sitting there thinking, now I know I did not hallucinate this entire relationship. I know I did not hallucinate this entire relationship. And look at how this connects to your first 2 cards. Libra said the scales need to come back into balance. You felt like home said that this person knows you brought peace, comfort, and emotional safety. Now, honesty comes through and says, if they want access to that peace again, they have to tell the truth. Period. They cannot come back just because they missed the comfort. They cannot walk back into your life acting like nothing happened. They cannot skip over the uncomfortable parts and go straight to, I miss you. No, no, no. We need to talk about why you had to miss me in the first place. So this card feels like a conversation is coming. A conversation where something that has been sitting underneath the surface finally gets addressed. And I feel like this person may know that too. Okay, they already understand that if they come towards you, you are not going to accept vague answers anymore. You may be calmer now. You may be more reflective, but that does not mean you forgot. Peace did not erase your memory. Hallelujah. Okay, peace did not erase your memory. And this is where the reflection card becomes even more important. This space, right, may be forcing them to look at where they were dishonest with you or where they were dishonest with themselves. Honey, maybe they told themselves they did not care that much and they acted like the connection was casual. They pretended they did not need you. They denied something you could clearly see. And now the distance is making the truth harder to avoid. Okay? So yeah, maybe they have been lying to you, but they were also lying to themselves. And that's the deeper energy here. Because if you feel like home is accurate, then they know this connection gave them something meaningful. So why would somebody downplay that? Why would they downplay it, Clarity family? I'll tell you why. Fear, pride, avoidance. not wanting to be vulnerable, trying to maintain control, or simply not wanting to admit that they were emotionally invested, right? They were more emotionally invested than they intended to be. Honey, baby, somebody wanted all the benefits of the truth without having to actually speak it. And pile one, let's be real. What's coming next may be a truth-telling moment. And that could be a confession, an apology, a clarification, somebody finally admitting how they really feel. Or you confronting something and saying, I need truth, not the version that makes you look better. And because Libra is here, honesty may be what restores balance. Not flowers, not chemistry, not nostalgia. Truth. Because home without honesty does not feel safe. And love without honesty turns into emotional guesswork. You may still care about this person. You may still care about you. But the next phase cannot be built on selective information. Okay? The exact energy coming through is this. I know. This person is saying that I know I have not been completely transparent with you. I have minimized, avoided, or twisted certain things because I was afraid of the consequences. But I also know I cannot repair this connection without finally being honest. And I want you to hear this part clearly. The energy is not saying believe everything they say. It is saying watch whether their truth matches their behavior. Because words can apologize. Patterns tell the truth, honey. Words can apologize, but patterns tell the truth. All right, pile one, you have 3 more cards to go. So let's go ahead and pull card 4 and find out exactly what this honesty is opening up, because I want to know whether this truth leads to reconciliation, a major decision, or you finally seeing something clearly enough to move differently. Let's go, honey. All right. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. Let's see what's coming through, baby. Because I'm just like, this is card 4. Let's see what's coming through. Oh, ooh. These cards just jumped on the table. I'm going to go with this one. Okay. This says prosperity. So we are leaving the realm of this person's energy. And this says prosperity, and Spirit is saying a prosperous business with riches and success. Claim it. I claim it. Thank you, Spirit. I absolutely feel that this energy was meant to change. So this card practically jumped out of the deck along with others, but the one we chose was prosperity. It was the one turned over. And so now this is important because we just spent the first 3 cards deep in relationship energy. Reflection, Libra. You feel like home and honesty. And then prosperity comes out like, okay, enough about that person. Let's talk about your money. Okay, let's talk about your money. And that tells me the energy is shifting. What is coming next for you is not only about this relationship. There is a financial or business opening coming into this pile. For some of you, this can absolutely be tied to your career, your business, a side hustle, a new client, a promotion, a contract, more visibility, more customers, more money coming through something you have already been building. And the wording here is strong. It's strong. It says prosperous business, riches and success. That does not feel like just getting by energy. This feels like something beginning to expand. And I want you to notice the timing of this card. It came after honesty. So yes, honey, there is a connection between becoming honest about what you really want and the money beginning to move. So maybe you have been undercharging, playing small, second guessing yourself, giving too much away, staying in a job, business, arrangement, or financial situation that does not reflect your value. And the energy says, you may be done with that. Somebody in this pile may be saying, I want more. Not from greed, not because you are ungrateful, but because you know your work, talent, experience, or business can produce more than what you have been accepting. Prosperity begins when you stop apologizing for wanting to thrive. And that yellow glass crystal energy fits this beautifully. Yellow is connected symbolically with confidence, optimism, personal power, clarity, and visibility. So this is a period where you become more confident about putting yourself out there, promoting yourself, charging appropriately, applying for that position, launching the idea, showing people what you can actually do. You are moving from, I hope this works, to I know what I bring to the table. And for my entrepreneurs, listen, it could be like a real increase in business activity, more sales, more bookings, a larger audience, something you create finally catches momentum, or one opportunity opening the door to several others. One yes, honey, turns into multiple deposits. And I love that, because while this person from the relationship energy may be sitting somewhere reflecting on how much peace you brought them, baby, you are busy building something that pays you. And that's how the energy is shifting. You are not meant to spend all your attention staring at one emotional situation. There is more happening in your life. And prosperity is reminding you, your future is bigger than this relationship. And that doesn't mean that the relationship is irrelevant. It means it's not the only storyline. And somebody here need to hear that. Because while one area of your life is taking space to rebalance, yes, that's true, another area is getting ready to expand. And sometimes that's exactly how life works. One door gets quiet so you can finally hear another one opening. The exact energy coming through is financial growth is opening around you, especially through business, career, or something you are building independently. The more confidently you claim your value, the more this energy can expand. And yes, claim it. Claim the success. Claim the visibility. Claim the business growth. Claim the opportunity. And because somebody in this pile has spent enough time wondering whether they are capable, the energy is saying you are. And now I want to know where this is going, because prosperity does not usually show up quietly. So pile one, you have 2 more cards to go. Let's go ahead and pull the 5th card and find out what is feeding this prosperity, because I want to know whether this money is coming through a new opportunity, a existing business, career advancement, or something you have not even considered yet. Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. All right, so this is card 5, Clarity Family. I'm so excited for you. Let's see what's coming through. You have manifestation. So this doubles down on what we're talking about. The card just simply says manifestation. So when spirit shows up, spirit does what? Show out. And spirit is always present, omnipresent. Let's not forget that. Okay? So manifestation is intention, alignment, belief, receiving, creation. All right, Clarity family? I am excited for you because this is literally doubling down on the prosperity card that we just pulled. Prosperity, business, riches, success. And now we get manifestation. So the energy is saying what you have been working towards is starting to materialize. Honey, this is not something you just wished for once you forgot about, right? Not just something you wished for once and forgot about. I'm talking about something you have been thinking about, speaking over your life, planning for, working towards, praying over, visualizing, or quietly telling yourself, I know I can create more than this. And now the cards are saying, keep going, because this does not feel like random luck. It feels like alignment meeting effort. You have been laying the groundwork for this longer than you realize. And now the energy is beginning to catch up with the intention. And for some of you, this is money, a business goal, more customers, a financial milestone, a new position, a creative project, something with your name on it, something you have been building privately that is getting ready to show visible results. You are moving from imagining it to experiencing it. And I love that this came after prosperity, because manifestation by itself can sometimes be about desire and intention. But when prosperity comes first, now we are talking about results. That's why, right? That is what makes this pair so strong. You are not just dreaming about abundance. The energy is pointing towards something tangible, something measurable, something you can actually see, hold, sign, deposit, launch, receive, or celebrate. And look at how this whole pile has unfolded. At the beginning, you were told to give a relationship space. Then Libra came in and said, restore balance. Then you feel like home showed that somebody recognizes your value. Honesty showed truth coming to the surface. And then the reading completely shifted into prosperity plus manifestation. That tells me something very clearly. The more you stop pouring all of your energy into what you cannot control, the more energy becomes available for what you can create. Some of you may have been emotionally distracted, thinking about somebody, waiting for an answer, trying to understand a relationship, trying to fix something. And while all of that was happening, another part of your life was waiting for your attention. Now that you are stepping back, your focus will become your power again. And when your focus changes, your results can change. So that's why I do not want you sitting around staring at your phone, wondering whether somebody is coming back while the universe is waving a business opportunity in your face. Like, hello. Your money is trying to get your attention too. And this manifestation will require you to act when the opportunity presents itself. Apply, launch it, post it, send the email, raise the price, take the meeting, accept the offer, say yes, follow through. Manifestation is not always sitting still waiting for something to arrive. Sometimes it shows up disguised as opportunity that requires your participation. The exact energy coming through is something you have been intentionally creating around finances, career, business, or personal success is beginning to move from the unseen into the visible. Stay focused, because your effort and intention are starting to meet opportunity. And pile one, I also feel like this could restore your confidence in a major way, because once you see one manifestation land, you will start thinking, wait a minute, if I created that, what else can I create? And that is when the energy really starts moving. You have one final card left. And after prosperity plus manifestation, I really want to see what card 6 does, because this could tell us exactly how this energy lands. Let's pull card 6 and find out what the final outcome is. Are we looking at a financial breakthrough, career expansion, relationship movement, or something even bigger tying all of this together? Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? Let's see what's coming through. All right, you got the Page of Wands. And the card says good news, communication. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Honey, this is good news, communication, excitement, new opportunity, forward movement. Now, clarity, family, after prosperity and manifestation, this is beautiful, because the Page of Wands is movement. It is a message. It is an invitation. It is somebody reaching out. It is news that gets your energy moving again. It is something that makes you sit up and say, wait, hold on. What did they just say? This is not stagnant energy. This is not sitting around waiting forever. Something is coming in. And listen, because we just pulled prosperity and manifestation, I am heavily leaning towards this communication being connected to an opportunity, business, finances, work, a new project, or something that pushes you forward. It could look like a new client, an offer, an email, a callback, a message about work, a collaboration, a new idea, a business opportunity, or somebody saying, hey, I want to work with you. And Page of Wands energy is exciting because it often brings something fresh. Not necessarily the final destination, but the spark that gets the next chapter moving. So yeah, this could be the message that opens the door. Now, yes, this could also be romantic communication, because we started this pile with relationship energy, reflection, and Libra. You feel like home. Honesty. So somebody could absolutely reach out and say something they have been holding back. Okay. So I'm feeling like there could be a text, a call, an apology, a confession, a conversation that finally breaks the silence. But after the last two cards, I do not think love is the only good news coming in. Your life looks like it is opening in more than one area. And I love that for you. The Page of Wands also says, be ready to move when the message arrives. Do not overthink it to pieces, okay? Do not talk yourself out of the opportunity. Do not sit there staring at the email for 9 business days because you are afraid to respond. This energy wants courage, excitement, action, curiosity, and a willingness to try something new. So the exact energy coming through is good news is coming that creates movement, excitement, and a fresh opportunity. And this can be connected to money, business, career, or communication from someone who has been quiet. And now that we have all 6 cards, let's get into your total energetic frequency. All right, pile 1, let's bring this whole reading together because your energy changed dramatically as the cards unfolded. You started with reflection. Give each other some space at the moment and trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. So you entered this reading with relationship energy that needed breathing room. Something may have been tense, confusing, uneven, or emotionally exhausting. And instead of forcing it, the energy said, step back. And then came Libra, balance, fairness, partnership, reciprocity. A relationship that cannot continue unless both people start meeting each other halfway. Then you feel like home. And so this person recognizes your peace, your comfort, your emotional safety. Your presence mean more to them than they admitted when they actually had access to it. Then honesty. And this is where the relationship had to get real. There has been withholding, minimizing, selective truth, possibly some gaslighting, or somebody trying to reshape the story so they did not have to take responsibility. That's not going to work anymore. If this relationship comes back around, it needs honesty. Not nostalgia, not chemistry, honesty. But then your reading suddenly shifted, and this is where I got excited. You pulled prosperity, a prosperous business, riches, success, financial expansion, and then immediately manifestation. So what is coming next for you is not only about somebody returning or a relationship being repaired. Your money is moving too. It's something that you have been working towards may finally start showing visible results. Your business growth, your career expands, your work becomes more profitable. A financial goal begins moving closer, or an opportunity that you have been trying to attract finally starts appearing in real life. And then your final card, the Page of Wands. Good news plus communication. So I see a message, a conversation, an invitation, an offer, and some type of news that creates forward movement. Something is about to break the stagnation. So let me tell you what I really like about this pile. At first, you may have thought what was coming next was completely about this relationship. But the card said, no, your life is bigger than who is texting you back. While somebody is figuring out whether they want to be honest with you, you are stepping into prosperity. While somebody is realizing you feel like home, you are receiving an opportunity. While somebody is reflecting on your absence, you are manifesting a whole different level of life. And I think that is the real story here. The relationship has movement. And yeah, there's communication. And yes, the truth is coming out. But there's an opportunity to rebalance it. Sure, but your financial and career energy looks especially strong towards the end of the spread. You are not waiting for one area of your life to fix itself before the rest of your life starts moving. Everything can move at once. And so the overall message is, what is coming next is balance in love, truth in communication, financial expansion, manifestation of something you have been working towards, and good news that creates forward momentum. And pile 1, I would also pay attention to emails, texts, calls, offers, invitations, and new ideas, because Page of Wands says that the next chapter begins with a message. And when that message comes, do not be so busy looking back at the relationship that you miss what is knocking on the door in front of you. All right, Clarity family, that closes your pile 1 reading for what's coming next for you. And your final message is, the space is bringing clarity. The truth is coming out. The money is opening up, and good news is heading in your direction. And if you need personal clarity about what is coming next specifically for you, the 3 questions for a $33 personal psychic reading is still available. You can ask me any 3 questions about love and relationships, finances, career and business, communication, hidden situations, spiritual guidance, or whatever you personally need clarity on. The information is in the description. And remember, there are things that I can get into during a personal reading that I cannot fully share on this platform. And if you know, you know. And as always, I am sending you lots of love and good energy. Hi, Clarity family. Welcome to your reading, Pile 2. This is what's coming next for you. And just like Pile 1, I'm not going to assume whether this reading is going before the cards tell us, okay? So this could come through around your finances, your career or business, love and relationships, a new opportunity, a personal transformation, something happening behind the scenes. Or this could simply be spiritual guidance about a decision you are getting ready to make. Whatever shows up, I'm going to follow the energy. So if the cards start talking money, we're talking money. If somebody's relationship business starts falling out of this table, start falling on this table, well, apparently they wanted us to know. And one thing about me, I'm not going to force a pretty message when the energy is saying something else. I'm reading intuitively, connecting the cards as they come through, and allowing the story to reveal itself one card at a time. But real quick, the 3 questions for $33 personal psychic reading is still available. You can ask me any 3 questions about love and relationships, finances, career or business, communication and reconciliation, hidden feelings or situations, spiritual guidance, or anything personally happening in your life. The information, the link is in the description. And remember, there are things that I can get into during a personal reading that I cannot fully share here on this platform. And if you know, you know. All right, Pile 2, you chose the tangerine glass crystal with this gorgeous card here. I absolutely love this card and her expression here on it. It says, look inside yourself. Examine what is causing you to feel this way. Okay. This pile is starting inside of you. Before the energy shows me the job, the money, the relationship, the person, or the opportunity, it is pointing directly at your emotional response to something. There's something in your life right now that may have been triggering a stronger reaction than you fully understand. You may be irritated, restless, unsatisfied, anxious about a decision, fed up with somebody, questioning your direction, or feeling like, I know something needs to change, but I don't know what the heck I'm supposed to do next. And this card says, you make the move. Understand the feeling, okay? Because not every uncomfortable emotion means leave. Sometimes it means speak up, set a boundary. Sometimes it means you have outgrown this. Sometimes it means you are afraid because the next level requires something different from you. And sometimes you already know the answer and you've just been trying to negotiate with it. Honey, that is the energy I'm picking up here. Something has been nudging you for a while. A relationship that does not feel the same. A job you have mentally checked out of. A business idea you keep thinking about. A financial situation you know needs to change. Or simply a desire for more out of your life. And instead of immediately looking outside yourself for the answer, this card says, what is this feeling trying to tell you? Because what is coming next may begin with an internal decision before anything changes externally. That is important. Sometimes the new opportunity does not arrive first. First, you decide, I'm done settling. Then the door opens. Sometimes the relationship does not change first. First, you decide, I'm no longer abandoning myself to keep this connection. Then the dynamic shifts. Sometimes the money does not increase first. First, you decide, I am going to stop treating my own talent like a side note. And then the financial energy starts moving. And the tangerine crystal, it feels very active to me, warm, creative, motivated, passionate. So I do not feel like you are entering some long period of sitting around doing nothing. Quite the opposite. I feel like you are getting ready to move. But the cards are saying, know why you are moving before you move. Do not make a permanent decision because of one temporary emotion, but also do not dismiss a repeating feeling that has been trying to get your attention for months. There's a difference between a bad day and your soul being tired of the same damn story. And some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. You have kept telling yourself, I'll get better. Let me give it more time. Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe I should just be grateful. But this card says, stop automatically talking yourself out of what you feel. Examine it, understand it, and then decide what the feeling is asking you to do. Because I feel like the answer is going to become much clearer very soon. The exact energy coming through is what comes next begins with emotional clarity. Something you have been feeling repeatedly is pushing you towards a decision, a change, or a new direction. And once you understand what is underneath that feeling, movement begins quickly. And I want to see where that movement is happening. Where is it happening? Is it money, career, a move, a new opportunity, a personal breakthrough? Because right now the energy is basically standing at the door saying, before I show you what's next, I need you to admit what you already know. Pile 2, you have 6 more cards to go. Each card is going to reveal more about what is happening financially, what may be shifting around your career or business, what is developing in love and relationships, what you may not currently see, what is opening or closing, and what is internal realization, what this internal realization is preparing you for. And once we reach card 6, we are going straight into the total energetic frequency, where we will tie the entire story together and answer what is actually coming next for you. All right, pile 2, let's pull the first card and find out exactly what this feeling has been trying to lead you towards. Because something tells me we are about to find out why you have not been able to shake it. Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? Let's see. What's coming through? Thank you, Spirit. You have Mercury, the planet Mercury. I'm going to tell you all about Mercury, what this is, and how it relates to your energy and what's coming next. I'm also going to tell you the zodiac signs that Mercury rules. Now, Mercury is obviously the planet of communication. That's what the card says, okay? Keep that in mind because it's about thinking, messages, decisions, information, and movement. And with your first card being Mercury, Mercury is connected to, like I said, communication, thoughts, messages, information, decision-making, learning, movement, negotiations, and the way you process what is happening around you. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo. So Gemini or Virgo energy may be significant around you, around another person, in your chart, or simply in the way the next chapter unfolds. Now remember, your opening card says, look inside yourself, examine what is causing you to feel this way. And then Mercury comes out. And so that tells me what is coming next begins with a realization. Something clicks. Something finally makes sense. You may receive information, have a conversation, read something, hear something, get a message, or simply have one of those moments where you suddenly say, oh, now I understand what this has been about. Mercury is mental energy, so I feel like there's been a lot going on in your head lately. You've been thinking about something over and over, going back and forth, trying to make a decision, trying to understand why something does not sit right with you. And the energy is saying, clarity is coming through information. For some of you, this may absolutely be a message, a text, an email, a phone call, a conversation, a document, a business communication, something somebody tells you, or information you discover that changes the way you see a situation. And depending on what the next cards show, this could land in love, career, money, business, or even a personal decision you have been trying to make. But something is about to be said, learned, or understood. And Mercury moves fast. So once this information comes through, I do not feel like you are going to sit on it forever. You will immediately start thinking, okay, what do I do with this? And that is where the movement begins. Because your opening energy already said something inside of you has been trying to get your attention. And now Mercury says the missing piece is information. You have not been confused because your intuition was wrong. You have been confused because you did not have all the facts. That's a big difference. And if this is relationship energy, somebody will finally communicate. Something that was left unsaid will be spoken. You will learn why somebody behaved the way they did. You will receive a message that changes your understanding of the connection. Or you will finally say what you have been holding back. The silence is breaking. If this is career or business, Mercury can bring contracts, interviews, emails, networking, negotiations, marketing, content, writing, speaking, sales, or an important conversation around work. And so somebody, right, getting contacted, invited, interviewed, you're asked to collaborate, could be asked to send information or given an opportunity that begins through communication. Pay attention to your inbox. And if this is finances, the money is tied to an idea, a conversation, a new strategy, a client, a business contact, or something you learn that helps you make a smarter financial decision. Mercury is not always the money itself. Sometimes Mercury is the information that leads you to the money. Now, I also want to talk about Gemini and Virgo because they express Mercury differently. Gemini Mercury energy is curious, quick, social, adaptable, and interested in exchanging ideas. Virgo Mercury energy is analytical, detailed, practical, organized, and focused on figuring out exactly what works. And I actually feel like you may need both. Gemini says explore the options. Virgo says read the fine print. Okay, honey, do not jump at something just because it sounds exciting, but also do not analyze it so much that you miss the opportunity. You are looking for the sweet spot between, okay? The sweet spot between curiosity and discernment, movement and strategy, intuition and information. And that fits perfectly with look inside yourself. The feeling gives you the signal, and Mercury gives you the facts. And then you make the decision. The exact energy coming through is what is coming next involves important communication, information, or a mental breakthrough that helps you understand what has been bothering you and gives you the clarity to make your next move. And pile 2, I really want to see what follows Mercury, because this can go in so many directions. And this could be a message from somebody, an opportunity, a conversation, a truth, a contract, or a decision that changes trajectory of something. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull card 2 and find out exactly what this Mercury energy is bringing to your door, and whether this communication is connected to love, money, career, or something you did not see coming. Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. This is card 2. Thank you, Spirit. You have need time to heal. The card says, right now, I'm in a space where I need to focus on my healing and self-love. This isn't about you. It's about me. Whoa. Listen. This energy is, it's the part that says this isn't about me, it's about you. Now, this connects beautifully with your opening card, look inside yourself. And then we pulled Mercury, which brought communication, realization, information, and mental clarity. So what is coming next is a period of understanding why something had to slow down. And this could absolutely be relationship energy. Someone pulling back because they are emotionally overwhelmed, trying to recover from something, or realizing they cannot keep moving forward while carrying unresolved pain. And the biggest message here is, don't automatically personalize their withdrawal. That does not mean excuse bad behavior. It does not mean sit around waiting forever. It means the energy is saying that this person is genuinely dealing with something internally that has very little to do with your value. Okay, so yeah, they need time to reconnect with themselves, understand their emotions, and recover from something that happened before you. Or figure out why they keep reacting the way they do. Because something is going on. And that Mercury card tells me there is communication around this. There will be communication around this. A conversation where somebody finally says, I'm not okay. I need time to heal. I'm trying to work through something. I don't know how to give you what you need right now. And honestly, that may be the first truly honest thing that they've said in a while. Now, this could also be your energy. You may be the one realizing, I need to stop pouring into everybody else and start healing myself. You are tired of overthinking, tired of waiting, tired of trying to decode somebody's behavior, tired of carrying situations that keep leaving you emotionally depleted. And the energy says what's coming next may require you to love yourself enough to pause, not quit, not give up, pause, recover, reset, and stop making every next move from emotional exhaustion. Because look inside yourself already said, examine what is causing you to feel this way. Now this card answers. Something inside you needs care before the next chapter can fully open. That can be old disappointment, fear of abandonment, fear of starting again, trust issues, or simply burnout from giving too much for too long. And Mercury says, name it, understand it, talk about it, Because once you understand what hurts, it becomes much easier to stop letting that pain make decisions for you. And I also feel like this card is creating a separation between healing and avoidance, because they are not the same. Somebody can genuinely need space to heal. But if they keep using "I'm healing" as a permanent excuse to avoid accountability, that's not healing. That's hiding with the wellness label on it. So watch the behavior. Do they actually change? Do they become more honest, more emotionally available, more responsible? Or do they just disappear and come back when they're lonely and announce another healing journey every time the relationship requires effort? Baby, the exact energy coming through is what is coming next involves emotional healing and a necessary pause. Someone in this situation is being pushed to deal with what is happening internally instead of continuing to project it onto the relationship. And Pile 2, I feel like this healing is going to change the direction of something. Because once somebody becomes emotionally clearer, they make different decisions, different choices, different boundaries, different moves. Let's pull card 3 and find out what this healing is preparing you for, because I want to know whether this leads to reconciliation, a personal breakthrough, or a completely new direction. Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. And you have romantic love. And the card says, the frequency of romantic love supports our experience to know ourselves through the reflection of a conscious lover. That part. Okay. Now listen. Clarity family. This is conscious love. It's reflection, intimacy, self-knowledge, and deeper connection. Okay? Now we know where this healing is leading, because we started with look inside yourself. Then Mercury came through with clarity, communication, information, and understanding. Then Time to Heal told us that somebody needed to deal with their own emotional wounds instead of continuing to place everything onto the relationship. And now romantic love walks right into the reading. So yes, Pile 2, love is absolutely part of what is coming next. But I do not feel like the energy is talking about the same type of love you may have entertained before. This card specifically, I am getting tongue twisted because I'm excited for you. But this card specifically talks about a conscious lover. That means somebody who acts like a mirror. Somebody whose presence helps you understand yourself more deeply. Somebody who reflects back. And they reflect back what you deserve. What still needs healing. What you truly want. What you will no longer tolerate. And what healthy love actually requires from both people. This is love that makes you more aware, not more confused. And that distinction matters, because some of you have previously associated intensity with love, chasing with love, waiting with love, anxiety with love, wondering where you stand with love. But healing is changing your definition. You are entering a phase where peace starts feeling more attractive than chaos. And that can change your entire dating life. Because once you heal enough to stop being impressed by inconsistency, or somebody disappearing and returning does not feel mysterious anymore, it feels annoying. Once you stop confusing emotional unavailability with depth, you start asking different questions. Not do they want me, but can they love me well? Not is there chemistry, but is there emotional safety? Not how intense is this, but How healthy is this? And that is where romantic love becomes important. For some of you, I feel this could be a current connection becoming more conscious after healing takes place. Maybe somebody finally communicates through that Mercury energy. They admit, I needed to work on myself. They come back with more awareness, more honesty, more emotional maturity, and the connection begins to look different. But for others, this could be somebody new, because healing can change who you are attracted to. You could meet somebody and initially think, this feels different. Not because there's no chemistry, but because you are not spending every evening wondering whether they actually like you. They communicate, they show interest, they ask questions, they make plans, they listen, they allow you to be yourself. And suddenly you realize, oh, love doesn't have to feel like a group project where I'm doing all the work. Okay, so now the next phrase, reflection, it says, let's see what it says, reflection of a conscious lover. This also tells me that whoever comes into this romantic space may expose something about you, not necessarily something bad. I feel like they will show you how much you've grown. Maybe an old version of you would have chased. Now you observe. Maybe an old version of you would have ignored a red flag. Now you address it. Maybe an old version of you would have accepted crumbs. Now somebody brings you a whole plate and you realize, so this was an option the entire time? Honey, and Mercury sitting at the beginning of this spread tells me communication is central. This love cannot survive through guessing games. Whoever this is, the next chapter requires talking, expressing feelings, asking questions, clarifying intentions, and saying what you actually mean. The love coming next needs a voice. The exact energy coming through is healing is preparing you for a more conscious experience of romantic love. A relationship, new or existing, may become a mirror that shows you how much you have grown and what kind of love you are truly ready to receive. And Pow too, I like where this is going, because we have gone from look within to understand to heal and now love. That looks like progression to me. But we still have 3 more cards. And y'all know, I am not marrying anybody off after one pretty card. Okay. So let's go ahead and pull card 4 and find out what kind of romantic energy is actually approaching you. Because I want to know whether this is somebody returning with a different mindset, somebody brand new, or a relationship that is about to deepen in a way you did not expect. Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. Thank you, Spirit. We have Philosopher's Stone. The card says, powerful manifestation of wishes and goals. Whoa. Absolutely. Honey, Spirit's showing up. Spirit's showing up and showing out. Spirit's always here. Powerful manifestations. This is alchemy, turning visions into reality. Now, this is interesting because look at the progression in this pile. You started with look inside yourself. Then Mercury brought clarity and communication. Then time to heal said there was emotional repairing happening. Then romantic love came through. And now powerful manifestation of wishes and goals. So what is coming next for you may be something you have wanted for a while, not something random. Not some little passing thought. I'm talking about a desire you have been emotionally invested in, a relationship, a career goal, a business milestone, financial improvement, a personal dream, or something you have repeatedly pictured yourself finally experiencing. And now the energy is saying, this wish is closer. It's moving closer to form. The Philosopher's Stone is symbolic of alchemy, taking something ordinary and transforming it into something valuable. So this is a season where something you thought was stagnant, disappointing, or unfinished begins changing shape. Something that felt once like, why did I even go through that? May later become, oh, that experience prepared me for this? Yes, child. Yes. And that makes perfect sense with time to heal. Because some of the manifestations may be happening through healing. You are not just attracting something, you are becoming the version of yourself who can actually hold it. That's the difference. Okay? That is the difference. Because everybody wants to dream, but the dream may require different boundaries, different habits, different choices, different confidence, different standards, and maybe even different people around you. Now let's connect this to romantic love. So for some of you, one of your wishes has absolutely been love. Not just somebody to text, not just somebody attractive, not just another situation that starts hot and ends with staring at your phone like it owes you an explanation. No, okay? You have been asking for a conscious relationship, emotional availability, mutual affection, healthy communication, a partner who actually understands what partnership means. And the Philosopher's Stone says, love is a part of the manifestation. But notice something. Romantic love came after healing. Honey, that matters, because the energy is not saying find somebody so they can heal you. It is saying your healing changes what you are available for. And once your standards change, what can enter your life changes too. But I also do not want to lock this card into romance, because the wording says wishes and goals, plural. Okay, so for some of you, multiple areas are moving. Love improves and money improves. You meet someone while pursuing a career goal. A business manifestation gives you more confidence and freedom. One breakthrough creates momentum for another. This feels like one door opening and you suddenly realizing there is a whole hallway behind it. Okay. And remember Mercury. Honey, Mercury represents messages, contracts, ideas, networking, business communication, writing, speaking, and information. So your manifestation arrives through a message, a conversation, a new contact, a proposal, an application, a contract, a new contact, a collaboration, or an idea that suddenly becomes very real. So pay attention to what people say to you, because sometimes the manifestation does not arrive wearing a crown saying, hello, I am your answered prayer. Sometimes it looks like, hey, have you ever considered? And that one sentence changes the whole direction. The exact energy coming through is something you have genuinely wished for or worked towards is entering a stronger manifestation phase. Your healing, clarity, and changed mindset are helping you align with the goal that once felt much farther away. And pile 2, this is getting good, because now I want to know what is actually materializing. Is this primarily love, money, career, a major personal goal, or are several manifestations starting to overlap? You have 2 more cards to go. Let's go ahead and pull card 5 and find out what area of your life is about to show the first visible evidence that this manifestation is actually working. Oh, woo! Thank you, Spirit. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. Give me 1 second while I adjust your cards. Okay, I am ready. So we are on card 5. Let's see what's coming through. Thank you, Spirit. What you got for us, Spirit? Let's see, y'all. You got the Temperance. Nice. Yes. And I'll tell you why it is so lovely to always be in the presence of the Temperance. Because this is balance, divine timing, healing, patience, blending, alignment. Now, this is such a strong follow-up to the Philosopher's Stone, okay? Because you just pulled powerful manifestation of wishes and goals. And now Temperance comes through saying, do not rush what is already coming together. This is not blocked energy. This is blending energy. And something is being worked into the right balance. Your emotions, your choices, your timing, your relationships, your opportunities. Maybe even 2 completely different areas of your life. Something is being mixed together. Something is being mixed together. Behind the scenes, so it can actually last once it arrives. And that's important. Because some manifestations come fast and disappear fast. Temperance says, this one needs to develop correctly, not dramatically, not chaotically, correctly. Now, look at the whole spread so far. You started with look inside yourself. Then Mercury, clarity, communication, information. Then time to heal, emotional repair, then romantic love, conscious partnership, then Philosopher's Stone, wishes and goals manifesting, and now Temperance. Everything's starting to blend. This is a beautiful progression. This tells me what is coming next is not just one random moment. You are entering a period of realignment. Your inner world and outer world are beginning to match more closely. You will stop wanting one thing, but accepting another. You will stop saying what you want, peace. You will stop saying you want peace while entertaining chaos. You will stop saying you want abundance while constantly doubting your own ability to receive it. And stop saying you want healthy love while choosing people who keep emotionally dysregulating you, keeping you emotionally dysregulated. See, your choices will finally start matching your desires. And that is when manifestation becomes powerful. Now, because we have romantic love in this pile, Temperance can absolutely point towards a relationship becoming healthier, more balanced, and more emotionally mature. And this is somebody who needed that healing period. And communication begins slowly. And maybe both of you start approaching the connection differently. And the chemistry was always there, but now the emotional maturity, it starts catching up. This could also be a new love that develops slower, but better. And honestly, that may be exactly what some of you need. Because fast is not always healthy. Intensity is not always destiny. And fireworks are cute until somebody sets the curtains on fire. Okay. Temperance says, let's build it. Let it build. Let them show consistency. Let trust develop. Let action confirm words. Let the relationship find its rhythm. Do not force a label because the chemistry is strong. Do not force the outcome because you are excited. Watch what grows naturally. And for those of you where this manifestation is career or financial, Temperance says that your success can come through combining two skills, 2 income streams, 2 ideas, 2 audiences, 2 opportunities. Something that seems separate will actually work beautifully together. So the formula is in the blend. So you combine creativity with business, spiritual work with practical strategy, a job with a side business, one talent with another, and suddenly something clicks. Temperance also tells you that your manifestation is moving according to timing, not necessarily your impatience. You sitting there saying, okay, but when? And the energy is saying, when it is stable enough to hold. Because what good is getting exactly what you asked for if you are not emotionally, financially, or practically prepared to maintain it? Sometimes the delay is not rejection, it is preparation. And I feel like that's a major message for this pile. The exact energy coming through is your manifestation is moving into alignment, but it requires patience, balance, and the willingness to let the pieces come together naturally. What is forming now has the potential to be more stable because you are no longer approaching it from the same emotional place. And clarity, family. We have one final card left. And after romantic love plus Philosopher's Stone plus Temperance, honey, I really want to see how this lands. Because card 6 is going to tell us what this balanced manifestation is actually opening into. Now let's pull card 6 and find out what finally becomes visible. Is it love, money, career, a major opportunity, or the outcome you have been waiting to see? Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. Thank you, Spirit. You know what? I already have tarot on the table. I want to pull from numerology. Thank you, Spirit. What is the energy as it does relate? It says perseverance. Number 4, perseverance. This is keep going, honey. Endurance, determination, breakthrough. Don't quit before it shifts. Now, after everything that has already hit the table, this is not telling me nothing is happening. just keep waiting. No, this feels like you are much closer to a shift than you think. And that is why perseverance comes out at the end. Because sometimes the hardest part is not the beginning. The hardest part is continuing when you have been doing the work and cannot see the full results. You have been healing, thinking differently, changing your standards, trying to understand yourself, manifesting something better. And temperance literally just told you the pieces are coming together. So perseverance says, do not abandon the process because it has not finished revealing itself yet. And look at this entire pile. Look at this entire pile. This started with look inside yourself. Something inside you has been pushing for change. Then Mercury brought communication, information, thought, and clarity. Then time to heal said that there was emotional work happening. Then romantic love appeared. Then Philosopher's Stone said powerful manifestation of wishes and goals. Then Temperance said balance, timing, alignment. Let it develop properly. And now your last card, perseverance. Pile 2, that is a story. You are not being told to keep repeating the old cycle. You are being told to keep moving through the transformation. That's the difference. Perseverance does not mean stay in the bed, right? It does not mean stay in the bad relationship forever. Keep accepting less. Keep forcing something that clearly does not work. No, sometimes perseverance means keep choosing yourself until outer life matches the changes you have already made inside. And because romantic love is here, some of you are getting discouraged about love. Maybe you thought, where's my person? Why does everybody I meet need healing? Why am I always learning another lesson? And the energy says, do not let the wrong experiences convince you that the right experience does not exist. Because romantic love followed your healing card. That is significant. You are moving towards a relationship that reflects the healthier version of you. That can certainly be an existing connection that genuinely evolves after emotional work. Or it could be a new person who meets you differently because you are choosing differently. And perseverance says, do not lower your standards because you got tired of waiting for somebody who can't meet them. Okay? Who can meet them? Did I say that right? Let me say that again. Let's say that again for the Clarity family in the back. Do not lower your standards because you got tired of waiting for somebody who can meet them. Did y'all understand that? So you'll have high standards, right? You know you got high standards, but then you lower them because you got tired, because that high standard person didn't show up. And so you lowered them. Now, career and goals are absolutely still sitting in this spread too. Remember, the Philosopher's Stone was not just about love. It said powerful manifestations of wishes and goals. So yes, there's something you're building where progress has felt slow. A business, a career move, a creative goal, a financial target, a personal project. And temperance plus perseverance together says consistency is what turns this from a possibility into a result. And honey, you do not need a completely different plan. You need to stay with the right plan long enough for it to compound. Because some of y'all will plant the seed Monday, water it Tuesday, check it Wednesday, and by Thursday, this manifestation is taking too long. Meanwhile, the thing is literally growing underneath the soil. You just cannot see it yet. And that is what perseverance feels like here. Keep watering what is actually growing. Do not keep digging it up every 3 days to see whether the roots are still there. And this card tells me that what is coming next will restore your confidence. Because there is something about finally seeing evidence after you kept going. It's that moment when you say, wait, it worked. I made it through. I actually did this. I am not where I used to be. And that's powerful. The exact energy coming through is you are approaching a breakthrough created by healing, clarity, patience, and persistence. Do not abandon what is genuinely aligned simply because the final result has not fully appeared yet. And since this is card 6, let's get into the total energetic frequency. Your pile 2, your entire spread tells me that what's coming next is a shift from inner healing into outer manifestation. You started with look inside yourself, which told you to examine what has been happening emotionally. Something had to become clear inside of you first. Then Mercury showed up, communication, information, mental clarity. Something is going to be understood. A conversation may occur. Information will arrive. And you simply begin seeing a situation differently because your mind is no longer clouded by the same emotional response. Then, honey, time to heal revealed why this internal work was necessary. Somebody, possibly you, possibly another person connected to you, needed to heal instead of continuing to project unresolved emotions onto the relationship. And then immediately after healing, romantic love. That does not look accidental. The energy suggests a healthier relationship experience becomes possible as the healing occurs. And this is somebody existing coming towards you differently, or somebody entirely new. But either way, the love energy feels more conscious, more reflective, more intentional. It's less, what are we doing? And more, we both know why we're here. And then came the Philosopher's Stone. Powerful manifestation of wishes and goals. So love is not the only thing moving. Something you have been wanting personally, professionally, creatively, or financially has manifestation energy around it. You are starting to see evidence that something you have worked towards is becoming tangible. And then Temperance said, let it come together correctly. Do not rush, do not force, do not sabotage something good because it is developing differently. Okay? Don't sabotage something good because it's developing differently than the chaos you are accustomed to. And finally, perseverance. Keep going, not backwards, forward. Keep healing, keep building, keep choosing differently, keep honoring your standards, keep working towards your goal. Because what is coming next appears connected to something you have already been preparing yourself to receive. You are not starting from zero. You are starting from experience. And that's a huge difference, okay? Your overall message is what is coming next is greater clarity, deeper healing, a more conscious romantic experience, movement around a wish or important goal, greater balance, and a breakthrough that rewards your persistence. And pile 2, one last thing. Do not confuse patience with stagnation. Temperance said it is blending. Perseverance says, keep going. The Philosopher's Stone said, manifestation. Something is cooking. All right, Clarity family, that closes Pile 2 reading for what's coming next for you. And your final message is heal it, understand it, stay consistent, because the love, the goal, and the version of you that can hold it are already coming into greater alignment. And if you need personal clarity about what is coming next, specifically for you, the 3 questions for $33 personal psychic reading is still available. Honey, you can ask any 3 questions about love, career, finances, communication, your goals, spiritual guidance, or anything personally happening in your life. The information is in the description. And remember, there are things that I can get into during a personal reading that I cannot fully share here on this platform. And if you know, you know. And as always, I am sending you lots of love and good energy. Hi, Clarity family. Welcome to your reading, Pile 3. This is what's coming next for you. And just like the other piles, I am not going to walk into this assuming everything is automatically about love. This could come through around your finances, your career or business, a relationship, a new person, a personal decision, a spiritual gift, a spiritual shift, something hidden finally coming to the surface, or something you have been feeling deep down but have not fully trusted yet. Whatever the cards show, that is where we are going. If the money starts talking, we are talking money. If the career energy shows up, we are going there. If somebody emotionally, right? If somebody's emotional business starts falling all over this table, well, apparently they wanted us involved. So I'm going to read this intuitively, connect each card to the energy already on the table, and let the energy build one card at a time. And one thing about me, honey, I'm not going to sugarcoat what comes through. If it's beautiful, I'm going to tell you. If it's something that needs to be looked at, I'm going to tell you that too. But real quick, the 3 questions for $33 personal psychic reading is still available. You can ask me any 3 questions about love, finances, career, business, communication, hidden feelings, spiritual guidance, or any personal situation where you need deeper clarity. The link is in the description. And remember, there are things that I can get into during a personal reading that I cannot fully share here on this platform. And if you know, you know. All right, Pile 3, you chose the teal blue glass crystal along with this gorgeous card. Absolutely love this card with the pink butterflies and her, I love her image here, her energy. It says, deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. Okay, this pile is starting with intuition. There's something you already know. And I don't mean something somebody told you. I mean something you have been feeling quietly. Something underneath all the questions, underneath the overthinking, underneath asking other people what they think, underneath trying to gather more evidence. You already have an inner answer about something. And what is coming next will require you to trust it. This could be about a relationship. Maybe you already know whether somebody is truly right for you. Maybe you already know whether they are emotionally available. Maybe you already know whether this connection is growing or simply keeping you occupied. Or I feel like this could be career. Maybe you already know you are ready to move on from a job. Maybe you need to know, maybe you already know you need to take your work more seriously. Maybe there's a business idea you keep returning to. And maybe you have been trying to convince yourself that you are not ready, when deep down, you know you are. And finances, honey, could absolutely come through here too. You already know where the leak is. You know what needs to cut back. You know which opportunity deserves more attention. And honey, you know where you have been undervaluing yourself. The issue is not lack of knowledge. The issue is whether you trust yourself enough to act on what you know. Because sometimes we keep asking for signs after the answer has already shown up 14 different ways. And the energy is sitting there like, how many more billboards do you need? Child. Okay? This card says, do what feels right, not what feels easiest, not what keeps everybody comfortable, not what looks best from the outside, what feels true. Okay? There's a choice approaching you where you are going to have to stop outsourcing your decision making. You may ask everybody, what would you do? But at the end of the day, honey, they don't have the answer. Okay? Or they don't have to live with the answer. You do. And this teal blue glass crystal energy feels very connected to truth, communication, emotional clarity, and speaking from a calmer place. So I also feel like what comes next will involve you finally saying something, right, that you have been holding back. A boundary, a truth, a decision, a confession, a request, or simply, this is what I want. That can change everything. Because once you stop being vague with yourself, you become much harder for other people to keep in vague situations. And I don't feel like this pile is being asked to rush. It's being asked to trust. That's the difference. This feels like quiet certainty before movement. You do not have every detail yet. You do not know exactly how the next chapter unfolds, but you know enough to take the next step. And sometimes that's all you are going to get. Okay, because the whole road may not light up, just the next few feet. And that's enough. The exact energy coming through is, what is coming next begins with trusting an inner knowing you have been questioning. A decision, truth, or direction is becoming harder to ignore. And once you act from that place of certainty, the next chapter begins to open. Pile 3, you have 6 more cards to go. And each card is going to show us more about your finances, your career or business, your love life, and relationships. What may be developing behind the scenes, what is opening or closing, and what this inner knowing is preparing you to do next. And once we reach card 6, we are going straight into your total energetic frequency. Well, where we will tie everything together and answer what is actually coming next for you. All right, pile 3, let's pull card 1 and find out what this inner knowing is trying to lead you towards. Because I feel like something is about to confirm what you already suspected. Let's go. What is the energy? As it does relate, let's see what's coming through. And you have a conjunction. This is an astrological placement in astrology. A conjunction is empowerment. I am going to tell you what this conjunction energy means and how it relates here in your reading of what is coming next for you. Thank you, Spirit. Now the card says combines with, enhances, strengthens, joins forces, activates, intensifies, authorizes, allies with, concentrates, saturates, overrides, and overwhelms. But listen, a conjunction, and in astrology, a conjunction happens when 2 planets or points come together very closely. That means their energies are blended, combined, intensified, And depending on what is involved, that can feel extremely powerful. So when this card comes through with the word empowerment, I immediately feel like what is coming next for you involves two things coming together in a way that strengthens your next move. And remember your opening card, which said, deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. So this conjunction energy says your inner knowing and your outer circumstances will start matching. That's important because sometimes you know something internally, but nothing outside of you confirms it yet. You feel the shift. You sense the opportunity. You know a relationship is changing. You know you are ready for something different, but the physical evidence has not caught up yet. The conjunction says the pieces are starting to meet. Now, this could show up in several ways. Two people coming together, two opportunities combining, two ideas becoming one project, a partnership, a collaboration, a relationship intensifying, a career move lining up with something you have been preparing for, or even two parts of yourself finally working together instead of fighting each other. What you want and what you do will finally start speaking the same language. And that is empowerment. Because if you have been divided internally, one part of you saying go, another part saying wait, one part saying I deserve more, another part saying, but what if I lose what I have? The conjunction says that inner split is closing. You are becoming more decisive, more aligned, more willing to stand behind your own choices. Now, let me give you the astrology piece. A conjunction itself is not automatically good or bad. It depends on the planets involved. But one thing a conjunction almost always does is turn up the volume. If Venus is involved, it's love, attraction, money, beauty, values, or relationships may intensify. If Mercury is involved, it's communication, ideas, messages, or decisions will intensify. If Mars is involved, it's action, desire, courage, conflict, or motivation intensify. If Jupiter is involved, it's growth, opportunity, abundance, or expansion intensify. If Saturn is involved, it's responsibility, commitment, boundaries, or serious decisions intensify. So symbolically, in this reading, something is getting stronger. And because this reading is what's coming next for you, I feel like you are approaching a point where something that has existed separately starts joining together. Maybe you have the talent, right? Maybe you have the talent, but not the opportunity. Then the opportunity arrives. Maybe you have the idea, but not the right person to help execute it. Then the connection appears. Maybe you have been healing internally, but your outer life has not reflected that growth. And then suddenly circumstances start catching up with who you have become. And if this is love, this is powerful because conjunction energy can show two people becoming more intertwined, more communication, more time together, a meeting, a relationship becoming more significant, or two people realizing, wait, this is becoming something. But remember your opening message. You already know the answer deep in your heart. So if somebody is coming closer, you already know whether it feels right. You already sense whether this connection empowers you or drains you. And that is the key. True empowerment does not require you to abandon yourself. If the connection brings you more clarity, confidence, honesty, and growth, beautiful. If it intensifies confusion, anxiety, and self-doubt, that tells you something too. And if this is career or business, I really feel like conjunction energy I really like conjunction energy for collaboration. Two skill sets come together, two brands, two ideas, two roles, a partnership, a contract, a joint project, something that is stronger together than it would have been separately. You may not have to do the next chapter entirely alone, and that feels important. And with finances, the money is connected to combining resources, combining talents, merging two income streams, or an opportunity that brings your skills into closer alignment with what actually pays. So the next level comes through connection. The exact energy coming through is what is coming next involves two energies. People, ideas, opportunities coming together in a way that intensifies your path and increases your personal power. Something that has been separate will begin to align, and once it does, movement becomes much stronger. And pile 3, this is a strong first card because it feels like the confirmation is starting to arrive. You had the inner knowing. Now the external pieces are preparing to meet it. And you have 5 more cards to go. Let's go ahead and pull card 2 and find out exactly what is coming together, because I want to know whether this conjunction is pointing towards love, money, career, or a powerful collaboration, or something that is about to intensify very quickly. Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what is coming through. Thank you, Spirit. I want this card here. Let's see what's coming through. Thank you, Spirit. All right. The card you have is Saint Dympna. Her name is spelled Saint, Dympna. She is mental health and well-being support. Wow. So definitely more ease. If you've been feeling stressed lately, overthinking, right? This is about peace and emotional restoration. Now, this shifts the entire energy to like a very important direction. Because your opening card said, deep in your heart, you already know the answer, do what feels right. And then conjunction came through with empowerment, alignment, and two energies coming together. And now Saint Dympna says that your next chapter also involves protecting your peace. So if you've been saying that, honey, guess what? This is a synchronicity. This is a sign. This is a message. If you've been walking around saying, I got to protect my peace, I got to protect my energy, then guess what? You are in the right place at the right time. Because this does not feel like a card saying something is wrong with you. This feels like you are learning that your peace has to be part of the decision. That's the difference. You are becoming, right? You are coming out of a period where you were mentally carrying too much, too many people, too many responsibilities, too much overthinking, too much emotional noise. Just way too much, honey. And too much, it's just been too much trying to figure out what everybody else needs while your own nervous system was sitting in the corner asking, hello, do I get a turn? Right? Your nervous system, Lord. And I feel like what is coming next may require you to choose situations that support your well-being instead of constantly disrupting it. Okay, so that means a healthier relationship. It could mean that a calmer work environment, better boundaries, less access to draining people, more rest, more quiet, more time doing things that actually restore you. Peace is becoming a requirement, not a luxury. Now connect this with conjunction. two energies are coming together. So for some of you, the thing entering your life is actually supports your emotional well-being. A person who feels calming instead of chaotic. A job that fits your life better. A collaboration that takes, some of the pressure off. And a new routine that helps you feel more balanced. Or simply an internal decision where your mind and intuition finally stop fighting each other. You are coming into agreement with yourself. And that's powerful, because sometimes the biggest exhaustion comes from knowing one thing deep down, but continuously doing the opposite. You know the relationship drains you, but you stay. You know the job is burning you out, but you keep convincing yourself you have to tolerate it forever. You know you need boundaries, but every time somebody knocks, you open the door. St. Diphnah says what's coming next involves taking your own well-being more seriously. And I also feel support around this card, because you will not have to process everything alone. This could be trusted friends, family, a mentor, a counselor, or other professional support if that is part of your life, or simply willing to say, I need help with this. Because there is strength in support. And for some of you, what comes next is not necessarily another major achievement first. It is getting yourself into a healthier internal space so that when the opportunity, relationship, or financial shift arrives, you can actually enjoy it. Because what good is receiving everything you ask for if you are too exhausted to experience it? Okay? And so this card is also confirming that you are becoming much more sensitive to environments that disturb your peace. Things you once tolerated suddenly feel unbearable. People you once entertained become exhausting. Situations you once called normal, honey, may now have you saying, why was I living like this? But that's growth. And the exact energy coming through is what is coming next includes a stronger commitment to your mental and emotional well-being. You are becoming more selective about what and who you allow into your space. And that shift helps you align with circumstances that actually support you. And I really like this after conjunction, because it tells me the thing coming together should also bring more peace, not less. Okay, that is going to be one of your confirmations. Not just, peace is going to be one of your confirmations, not just, is this exciting? But does this feel healthy for me? Pile 3, you have 4 more cards to go. Let's go ahead and pull card 3 and find out what begins opening once you make peace and well-being part of the equation. Because I want to know whether this next shift is taking us into love, career, finances, or a completely different direction. Let's go. Thank you, Spirit. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. All right, you have freedom. Yes. And the card says the energy of freedom supports our sense of limitless possibility and potential, boundless expression, and a bold exploration. Ooh, absolutely love this for you. And let me tell you why, honey, because there ain't nothing like feeling free, right? So this is about limitless possibility, potential, boundless expression, bold exploration. And okay, now this reading is opening up, okay? Because look at your progression. Look at your progression. You started with deep in your heart. You already know the answer. Do what feels right. Then conjunction came through with empowerment. Different energies coming together and strengthening your next move. Then Saint Diphnah brought mental and emotional well-being, peace, support, and choosing what is healthier for you. And now freedom. So I feel very strongly that what is coming next involves you becoming less restricted emotionally, less restricted mentally, less restricted by another person's expectations, less restricted by fear. And for some of you, less restricted in your actual lifestyle. And there's something that you felt trapped inside. You felt trapped inside, maybe like a relationship, a job, an obligation, an identity, a routine, a financial situation, or simply an old version of yourself that no longer fits. And this card says the door is opening. And not so you can run around recklessly, but so you can explore what your life looks like when you are no longer making every decision based on fear, guilt, and what everybody thinks, who might be disappointed. You're not making decisions on that. Or saying things like, well, this is what I've always done. That old rule book is getting thrown out. Now connect this to Saint Diphnah, because this freedom comes because you finally understand that some environments simply cost you too much mentally. Some people require too much emotional recovery after every interaction. Some situations look fine from the outside, but leave you depleted internally. And the energy says you are choosing peace over proximity. So that means creating distance from someone and changing how available you are, leaving something behind and saying no, and you are no longer allowing somebody else's chaos to determine the temperature of your entire day. You are getting your mind back. And that feels like freedom all by itself. Now, let's talk about that phrase, limitless possibility and potential. Because this is what's coming next for you. And this does not feel like your life getting smaller. It feels bigger. More options, more movement, new experiences, new people, different environments, more creativity, more independence, travel, exploration, saying yes to something you previously would have talked yourself out of. You are about to surprise yourself. Some of y'all have been saying, that's not really me. That's not really me. And the next version of you is like, well, maybe it is now. Because freedom can bring experimentation. You will change your style, change your routine, try something new professionally, travel somewhere, start a business, take a class, meet different people, create differently, or simply allow yourself to experience life without needing to know where every road ends before you take the first step. Bold exploration. That phrase is important. This energy is not whispering. Stay exactly where you are. It is saying, explore. And if this is career, oh, I like this. I like this. This can be leaving a restrictive position, working more independently, starting something for yourself, moving towards a role that gets greater flexibility, or having more freedom over your time, creativity, schedule, or income. Okay, somebody is done asking permission to use their own talent. Okay, now with money, freedom represents wanting enough financial stability that you have choices, not simply money to pay bills, but money that allows you to say, I don't have to stay here. I can take the trip. I can invest in myself. I can create something new. Financial freedom becomes a much bigger priority. And with love, this is where it gets interesting, Because freedom does not automatically mean I want to be single forever. It can mean I want a love that does not feel like a cage, a relationship where you can still be yourself, still have interests, still grow, still explore, still breathe. And whoever enters your life or whoever remains in your life is going to have to understand. Love does not mean ownership. And that ties right back to deep in your heart. Because you already know when something feels freeing. And you already know when something feels restrictive. Your body knows. Your mind knows. Your energy knows. You may have been simply overriding the answer because you were afraid of what acting on it would change. But what is coming next? You are no longer afraid of the change. And now let's connect this to conjunction. This is fascinating because conjunction said something is coming together, while freedom says you are becoming less confined. That tells me the right thing coming together does not trap you. It expands you. The right partnership expands you. The right job expands you. The right business opportunity expands you. The right relationship allows more of you to exist, not less. And that's your test for what's coming next. Right? Does this opportunity make your life feel bigger or smaller? Does this person support who you are or require you to shrink? Does this path excite your potential or make you feel confined? The exact energy coming through is what is coming next involves greater freedom, possibility, and self-expression. You are moving away from circumstances that restrict your peace or potential and towards choices that allow you to explore more. That's where you're going. You're going towards choices that allow you to explore more of who you are and what your life can become. And Clarity family, I like this because this pile started with an inner knowing, then empowerment, then well-being, and now freedom. This feels like somebody taking their life back. Pile 3, you have 3 more cards to go. Let's pull card 4 and find out what this newfound freedom actually opens up the door to, because I want to know whether we are moving towards money, career expansion, love, travel, or an opportunity that completely changes your sense of what is possible. Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. All right, let's see. Card 4. All right, the card says, abracadabra with wings. It says, wow, this is some strong energy here. I can feel it, y'all. The card says, abracadabra with wings. It says, fantastic, good fortune, and lucky chances. Ooh, that part. Now listen, listen. Clarity family. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Opening doors, surprises, opportunity, a favorable turn in circumstances. This is strong. I could feel the energy shift with this card hit the table because we just came from freedom. Just came from freedom. Limitless possibilities, potential, bold exploration, and now immediately behind that, lucky chances. This is not giving me stay exactly where you are and keep doing the same thing. No, this is giving when you give yourself room to move, an opportunity finds you. And I want you to notice the wording. It does not say just, it does not just say good fortune. It says fantastic good fortune. And then lucky chances, plural, plural. Okay, so somebody in this pile is entering a period where there is more than one opportunity presenting itself. You have options, right? You will receive, you could receive an invitation. Somebody could introduce you to somebody. You could stumble across information at exactly the right time. A conversation could lead somewhere unexpected. Baby, you could go somewhere you almost did not go and meet somebody you did not expect to meet. And suddenly, one random yes changes the trajectory. This is what that feels like. Now, when I say luck, I do not necessarily mean you are sitting on the couch and a suitcase of money falls through the ceiling. And if it does, please make sure the ceiling is insured. Okay. What I mean is the right opportunity, it meets you while you are in motion. And that's why the freedom card came first. Freedom said explore, expand, try something different, allow more possibility. And abracadabra with wings says yes, because something fortunate is outside of your normal routine. Okay? Maybe you take the trip. Maybe you attend the event. Maybe you apply for something you initially thought was out of reach. Maybe you finally launched a project. Maybe you accept the introduction. Maybe you respond to the message. Maybe you decide, you know what? Let me just see what happens. And that little decision, that may be where the magic is hiding. Now let's connect the conjunction. Remember, conjunctions show two energies coming together and creating empowerment. So this lucky chance can come through a partnership, a collaboration, a relationship, a business connection, a meeting, two opportunities merging, or somebody whose resources, ideas, or presence connect with yours in exactly the right way. The good fortune comes through a person. And I'm watching that because your opening card said, deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. So yes, you could receive an opportunity where logically you start doing what humans do. Well, what if? But maybe. I don't know. Should I wait 6 months and create a spreadsheet? And something inside you simply says, go. That's where discernment matters. Not recklessness, not ignoring practical details, but recognizing when your inner knowing and a real opportunity are moving in the same direction. Your intuition, it recognizes the open door before your mind finishes analyzing the handle. Now, honey, let's talk money because I absolutely have to. If this fortune lands financially, this is a very favorable opportunity, a new source of income, a business opportunity, a profitable collaboration, a promotion, a contract, an unexpected customer or client, somebody recommending you, something you created gaining attention, or a chance that gives you more financial freedom, which would connect directly back to your freedom card. And honey, this is money that gives you options. Not just money coming in, immediately disappearing into obligations. I'm talking about increasing your ability to choose. Now, when it comes to your career, you are moving forward, right? With something that feels like, finally, this fits me. It's a career with more flexibility, more independence, more visibility, more creative control. An opportunity that recognizes something about you that your current environment has been overlooking. So remember, Saint Dphna came through before freedom. Okay, so I don't think whatever is next is supposed to cost your peace. That's important. The right opportunity should expand your life without destroying your well-being. Now, when it comes to love, baby, because I know somebody just sat up. When it comes to love, this is a chance meeting. an unexpected introduction, a connection that develops while you are traveling, exploring, changing routines, trying something new, or simply allowing yourself to become more open. And with conjunction, two people coming together with freedom, a connection that does not feel restrictive. With Saint Dymphna, something that may feel calmer and healthier. And now, lucky chances, somebody, honey, will meet a person that they did not plan on meeting. Now, I'm not marrying y'all off on card 4, okay? We still have 2 cards, but I'm absolutely keeping my eye on it because this entire pile feels like your world is getting bigger. More possibility, more freedom, more choices, more support, and now more fortune. So the exact energy coming through is what is coming next includes a favorable opportunity or unexpected opening that carries the potential to expand your life. Your willingness to explore beyond what has felt familiar, baby, will place you directly in the path of a lucky chance. And there's one more thing I want to say. Do not disqualify something good just because it arrives differently than you imagine. Sometimes we ask for a blessing. Then it shows up wearing different shoes and we send it back. Pay attention because this opportunity may not look exactly like the picture you created. But the feeling of expansion, peace, freedom, and empowerment will tell you that this is worth exploring. Now, baby, you got 2 more cards to go. And with freedom plus fantastic good fortune plus lucky chances sitting together, I want to know what this opportunity actually brings into your life. So let's go ahead and pull card 5 and find out whether this lucky opening is leading towards money, career advancement, love, travel, a powerful connection, or an opportunity so unexpected you never even thought to ask for it. Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. All right, give me 1 second to adjust your cards, please. Just in case, baby, you want a screenshot of this fantastic good fortune here on the table. Thank you, Spirit. Let's do it. All right, so here we go. Card 5. What is the energy as it does relate? Let's see what's coming through. Baby, you got the World. Literally, the World card shows up as card 5, honey. Now, when I say a synchronicity, baby, this is what I'm talking about. Okay, this is expansion, success, travel, recognition. It also represents a cycle closing. And I need y'all to really look at this spread for a second. Look at this spread for a second. Okay? Because you have freedom, fantastic good fortune with lucky chances, and the World. That is big energy. The World is about completion, achievement, expansion, fulfillment, travel, broader horizons, and reaching the end of one cycle so another can begin. So what is coming next for you? Something is opening up in a bigger way than before. That is not small, cramped, repetitive energy. This is, I have outgrown where I was. I am ready for more. I am stepping into a wider version of my life. And after that freedom card, that makes perfect sense. You are getting ready to move beyond a situation that felt limiting, beyond a job, beyond an old identity, beyond a relationship pattern, beyond an emotional cycle. Honey, the World says you are not supposed to stay stuck in the same chapter forever. And this absolutely looks like travel energy, a trip, a relocation, a long distance opportunity, international connections, working with people outside your normal area, or simply your world becoming larger because new environments and new people start entering. Somebody's zip code may not be the only thing expanding. Now connect this with abracadabra with wings, lucky chances, fantastic good fortune. And the world says that lucky chance will connect you to something bigger than what you are currently used to. A larger platform, a broader audience, a major opportunity, a successful completion, a new market, a new social circle, a different environment. Something where you suddenly realize, oh, this can go further than I thought. For career or business, this is beautiful. The world points to recognition, finishing a major project, graduation or certification, business expansion, reaching a wider audience, working remotely, international clients, travel connected to work, or finally completing something you have been building for a long time. You are closing out the preparation phase and moving into the result phase. And money, honey. The world shows financial growth connected to expansion, more reach, more people, more opportunities, more markets, more access. So this is not just, I got a little extra money. This is, my whole financial landscape is starting to change, especially when we already had fantastic good fortune right before it. Now, with love, let me say this carefully. The world represents a cycle completing. For some of you, a past relationship cycle may be finally closing for good. Not necessarily in anger, not necessarily with drama. Just, I have learned what I needed to learn here. And once that chapter closes, freedom comes in, lucky chances come in, and something new has room to enter. And for others, the world also shows a relationship reaching another level, a connection becoming official, long distance energy, travel with someone, meeting someone from a different background or location, or simply feeling like your love life is moving into a more complete chapter. The key is expansion. So if love comes in, it should make your life larger, not smaller. That has been the repeated theme of this poem. And remember Saint Dphna, your well-being matters. So the world is not asking you to chase success at a cost of yourself. It is showing a larger life that can still include peace, right? Expansion without self-abandonment is important. And your opening card says, deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. So, honey, you already know which chapter is complete, which direction is calling you, which opportunity deserves your attention, which person fits the next version of your life, and which one belongs in the previous season. The world is confirming that you are ready to move onto a bigger stage. The exact energy coming through is, what is coming next includes a completion of the old cycle and expansion into a broader, more successful chapter. A lucky opportunity will connect you to travel, recognition, career growth, new environments, or a wider world than the one you have been living in. And pile 3, you have one final card left. And after conjunction, Saint Dphna, freedom, fantastic good fortune, the world. I really want to see how this story ends. Let's pull card 6 and find out what this expanded new chapter actually brings you. Because at this point, I'm looking for the final confirmation around success, money, career, love, travel, or the big opportunity that ties all of this together. Let's go. What is the energy as it does relate? And let's see what's coming through. Card 6. You have completion. Oh my goodness. The card literally says completion. Wow. This is a major synchronicity, because the World card represents completion. On the World card, it literally says the word completion. It says reward, success, completion. And then your 6th and final card is completion. Thank you, Spirit, for showing up and showing out. This is next level, honey. Next level, baby. This is a major synchronicity. The energy is doubling down on the same message. A cycle is ending. Not because you failed, not because something is being taken from you, but because you have finished something. And there's a difference. Some endings are losses. Some endings are graduations. This feels like a graduation. You have learned, you have grown, you have outgrown, you have survived. You have reached a point where the old chapter can no longer hold the version of you that is emerging. And now the energy says reward, success, completion. That is not small. That is not maybe something changes eventually. No, this is the old cycle is wrapping up so the next one can actually begin. And remember where this pile started. Deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. So some of you may already know what is complete. A relationship, a job, a pattern, an obligation, a version of yourself, a long-term goal, a healing chapter, or a period of feeling boxed in. You already know what you are done with. Then conjunction came through with empowerment, something aligning, two forces coming together. Your internal knowing and your external circumstances beginning to meet. Then Saint Dphna brought mental health and well-being support. So your next chapter requires you to protect your peace. Then freedom came through. Limitless possibility, bold exploration, potential. You were being released from something, and then abracadabra with wings, fantastic good fortune, lucky chances. So once you started moving into freedom, opportunity showed up. Then the world said, reward, success, completion. And now your final card says completion. Clarity family, you cannot make this up. The same word appearing back to back is like the reading putting a highlighter over the message. This chapter is done. And the beautiful part, the energy after completion is not emptiness, it's expansion. You already pulled freedom, lucky chances, good fortune, the world. So something ending appears to create room for something larger. The ending is the opening. And this can absolutely relate to career. Maybe you complete a degree, finish a certification, complete a major project, leave a position, reach a milestone, close one professional chapter and step into a larger role. The work you have done will finally produce a reward. For business, this is completing one stage of growth and moving into a bigger market. More clients, more visibility, a wider audience, a successful launch, a project finally reaching the finish line. Something is ready to go public, expand, and pay off. For finances, the completion is finishing a debt, reaching a savings goal, ending a financial draining situation, completing an agreement, or finally reaching the point where you have more freedom and choices with your money. And remember, freedom was already on the table. So there is a very real connection between completing this cycle and having more autonomy, more options, more breathing room. And in love, this can go two very clear ways. For some of you, an old romantic cycle is complete. You finally release somebody and stop revisiting the same pattern. Stop waiting for the same person to become different. And once that closes, you become available for something new. For others, a relationship will complete one phase and enter another. Dating becomes commitment. Distant becomes reunion. An undefined connection finally receives definition. Something reaches a point of decision. But either way, limbo is ending. That's what I feel the strongest, okay? You are not meant to stay indefinitely in, I don't know, maybe, one day, we'll see. No. This pile is moving towards resolution. The exact energy coming through is, what is coming next is the successful completion of an important cycle. Something that has occupied your energy for a long time is reaching resolution. And that closure creates space for greater freedom, opportunity, success, and expansion. And because this is card 6, total energetic frequency, pile 3, the whole reading tells one very clear story, that you are closing a chapter and entering a bigger one. And you started with deep in your heart. You already know. There's an answer inside of you that has been trying to guide your next move. Then conjunction empowerment. Your energy started aligning. Your inner knowing and outer circumstances begin meeting. Something joins forces with you instead of working against you. Then Saint Dphna, well-being support. Your peace becomes part of the plan. You become more selective about what you allow around you. You stop believing success has to cost your sanity. And then freedom. Your world starts opening. You become less restrictive, more expressive, more adventurous, more willing to explore. Then abracadabra with wings. Fantastic good fortune and lucky chances. Opportunities begin showing up. Doors open. You meet the right person, hear the right information, go to the right place, and receive a chance you didn't expect. Then the world, reward, success, completion, expansion, a bigger stage, and finally, completion. The message could not be louder. You are finishing something successfully. And what is next appears to be much more expansive than what you are leaving behind. Okay? And this could involve financial freedom, career expansion, or successful completion, travel or broader opportunities, a relationship cycle resolving or progressing, greater peace and emotional well-being, a lucky opening that changes your direction. Do not keep, here's the biggest message, do not keep reopening a door that life is helping you finish closing. Completion means honor what you learned. Take the reward, take the wisdom, take the growth, and move. Because the World Plus completion says you have already outgrown the old room. Your final energetic message is you are reaching the successful end of a major cycle. The closure is not a punishment. It is a reward for what you have learned, and it frees you to move into a larger chapter filled with greater possibility, peace, opportunity, and success. Pile 3, Clarity Family. This closes your reading. What's coming next for you? And your final message is that the cycle is complete. The door is open. Your world is expanding. And if you need personal clarity about what is coming next specifically for you, the 3 questions for $33 personal psychic reading is still available. And you can ask me any 3 questions about love, career, business, finances, communication, personal decisions, spiritual guidance, or anything happening in your life. The information, the link is in the description. And remember, there are things that I can get into during a personal reading that I cannot fully share here on this platform. And if you know, you know. And as always, I am sending you lots of love and good energy.